Well, ladies and gentlemen, looks like Kotaku senior editor Alyssa Mercante strikes again. She is not only attacking Mark Kern, aka GRUMMZ, over on Twitter because of what he continues to do to try to, rally the forces of the gamers against the mainstream gaming industry, but apparently she's not very happy over the recent win that gamers experienced with Helldivers 2. She's also not happy over the fact that people are still openly fighting to try to get Stellar Blade uncensored. She is a very unhappy person, that's how it seems anyway, and it looks like she's going to continue to triple down.
She's got the crazy eyes.
Dude, the eyes, they're crazy.
So we have an article here from That Park Place with a headline that reads, Kotaku senior editor Alyssa Mercante continues to attack Mark Kern, shares her disdain for gamers, pushing back against corporations. Now, it shouldn't be too shocking, really, when people talk about someone like Alyssa, because honestly, if your entire purpose, if your entire job, if your entire existence is basically required on the mainstream industry succeeding, then of course you are going to shill for it. I mean, she needs the mainstream gaming industry to succeed. She needs the activism in that industry to succeed. And if it doesn't succeed, then she basically is going to have nothing left, and she's going to have to return back to her old job, like she has said many times on Twitter, which was her sex work. You know what I mean? Like, she very clearly has that as a fallback, which, again, nothing wrong with that. If that's your fallback, go for it. But I think that at this point, this person seems to be very angry at gamers, so much so that they really want to take it up a notch, if you catch my drift. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, if this wasn't the biggest smile on the internet, I don't really know what would be. And guys, again, I need you guys to understand, yes, we had a win when it came to Helldivers 2, but there is so many things out there that are happening right now that we absolutely have to focus on. And one of them is still, as of right now, we need to free Stellar Blade. Like, hashtag free Stellar Blade is a thing. And I know it got drowned out a little bit because of the Helldivers drama, but look how fast Sony bent the knee when people rallied together in that mass, right? Like, a free Stellar Blade has about 80 some odd thousand signatures over the course of a couple of weeks. Helldivers 2 got almost 300,000 negative reviews in simply almost 72 hours. I mean, that is not even close to being the same level of backlash. And look how quick Sony was going to bend the knee to us. So we need to continue to fight for Stellar Blade any way that we possibly can to get Stellar Blade free. So anyway, let's get into the article. It says, Kotaku senior editor Alyssa Mercante continued to attack Mark Kern while also sharing her disdain for gamers, pushing back against corporations. Now, imagine someone being such a corporate bootlicker that they're going to get angry at other people fighting for what they feel is right. This is coming from the same person, mind you. This is the same person that wants to talk about activism, talking about social justice, talk about fighting for what's right. As long as it's what she feels like it's right, then that's okay, right? But if you as a gamer want to fight for what's right for you, yeah, no, that's not allowed, and you're just an asshole for doing that, very clearly. It says Mercante took to X on May 6th in the wake of Sony reversing their policy to require gamers to connect to their Steam accounts to a PlayStation account in order to play Helldivers 2. You guys already know that. I don't need to rehash that. Mercante wrote on X, really don't love the recent collection of events in this industry that are emboldening its worst behaved actors. If companies were actually considering / talking about the hate movement bubbling right now, it'd be a lot harder for them to co-opt everything. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Hate movement? This isn't a hate movement. They made a stupid decision and we made our voice known. You get what I'm saying? Like, you might be so used to getting railed by everybody, but that doesn't mean that we have to be used to it. It doesn't mean that we have to take everything in our ass that is given to us simply because it comes from Big Daddy Corpo. Like, that's not how this works. And this is a prime example of what happens when you fight back against this stuff. And this is why I always bring up the reference, Rage Against the Machine. You got people like Alyssa Mercante who grew up, seemingly anyway, with Rage Against the Machine, and now they rage with the machine because now it's the cool thing to apparently lick the boot of Big Daddy Corpo. It's the cool thing. It's the accepted thing. All these leftists are doing exactly that, and they expect you to follow suit. Well, it doesn't work that way. She then attacked Kern, aka GRUMMZ, Mark Kern, I guess she misspelled it purposefully. Really gonna tell you him sending harassment towards community managers is why Helldivers is fixed, and you should give him more money so he can goon to women who he could have technically fathered, but what do I know? I mean, this is not even like relevant information. You know what I mean? Like, this is literally cope. This is someone who is so angry, who is trying to pretend like they're not angry, that they try to pass it off as, you know, joking and, oh, whatever, I'm just kidding, blah, 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 blah. No, you're being passive aggressive because you are so obviously mad. Like, you can tell, anybody can look at you and see that you are not happy with the amount of L's that you are taking. You are taking L after L after L, and it's all over your face, which I know you're used to, but still, like, you're taking so many L's. It's insane, and you are not happy with it, right? And listen, I understand. Community managers, you guys realize that a lot of these community managers that she's trying to advocate for, they openly attacked gamers first. They were the ones that were causing issues. They were the ones that were causing division. And then people responded to it. And then they want to claim harassment after people responded to it. That's not how this works. You can't go strike a beehive and then complain you got stung. You know, that's basically what they're doing here. Like, oh my God, the crazy gamers are attacking me. Oh. But they're the ones who attacked gamers literally first. They were happy and celebrating that gamers were upset over the fact that Helldiver situation was happening, and now that gamers got their win, they are definitely not happy about it, right? And these people have a private Discord server. Let's be real. They have a private Discord server where they get together and they try to, you know, collaborate and figure out how they're gonna fuck with people, and they try to stay united, and they attack the same targets every single time. These people are not slick. It's so obvious what they do. They think they're so smart, but it's really anything but that. Mercante continued, I spoke about this on Super Deluxe Gamescast. You mean a stream that nobody watches? Great for you. But it's as simple as releasing a joint letter signed by the bigwigs that denounces harassment of community managers and devs and confirms diversity is a natural component of modern gaming, and here to say. So, nobody ever complained about diversity because diversity is not a natural component of modern gaming. Diversity has always been part of gaming. That's how you know you're a tourist to the gaming scene. You want to pretend as if you just got in here. The white leftist known as Alyssa Mercante, they grew up extremely privileged and now lives in an unprivileged area because she likes to get banged by Tyrone. You want to pretend as if since you just found out about diversity, you want to pretend as if nobody knew diversity exists up until you found out about it. That's not how any of this works. Diversity was always there in the gaming scene. Anybody with a brain can know and notice that it was always there. And now you're trying to co-opt that, take that, and turn it into some movement that doesn't exist. You don't have any kind of movement about natural component of modern gaming with diversity. Yeah, that doesn't exist. You don't have that. That's always there, and you're trying to make it seem like it's not so that you can co-opt it and make yourself look better. So, of course, these community, these CEOs and bigwigs, they're not going to sign any kind of letter going against the people who pay their salary. That's what you're asking them to do. You're asking them to go against the people who literally pay their salary, which allows them to then pay you, unfortunately. It all trickles down. They're not going to do that, okay? Like, you know for a fact. Here's the most amazing thing about all this. They know for a fact that they're in the minority, right? They think they're in the majority. They always talk as if they are in the majority, but they're not. Gamers are obviously the majority, and the people who hate the stuff that you're doing are in the majority, because if they weren't, we would not be getting win after win after win, and you taking L after L after L. You wouldn't be having to beg the bigwigs to put out a letter against something that's deemed a minority, right? So we are absolutely the majority. The gamers are absolutely the majority, and we need to continue to keep these people accountable and kick these tourists out of the gaming scene. You know, I'm not usually an advocate for people being fired, but after a certain point, people like this and people like Baskinator and whatnot, they need to get the fuck out of the gaming scene. They are nothing but poison. They are just here to spew hatred and activism, and they need to go get a job in politics where they belong. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.